Greetings, y'all. Welcome to another video. Today we are again in the CD collection. Although today we're not discussing any random pickups. We're not highlighting a specific artist. We're highlighting a specific decade. So today what we're going to talk about is this awesome 7-disc box set from the great Rhino Records called Have a Nice Decade, the 70s Pop Culture Box. This came out in 1998 and just an awesome collection. I was a young kid in the 70s, late 70s, and these songs are so seeped in my nostalgia for that time. The songs on this remind me of the beach in the summer, hearing people's radios playing these songs, or family vacation road trips and stuff that we used to take. So many of these songs just are the soundtrack to those memories that I have. So I was so excited to get this. Before I got this, I remember on late night TV, I'd be watching, there'd always be these commercials. They used to have the commercials to order albums, collections and stuff like that, through a 1-800 number or whatever. And there was one that was put out, I don't know who put it out, Time Life, whoever, called AM Gold. And I always remember those commercials coming on, and they'd show the song titles and they'd play sound bites from the different songs, and every one of the songs I was oh yeah, it reminded me of these songs and so much. And then when this came out in 98 and I looked at the track listing, I was just oh yeah, I gotta grab that. And because the AM Gold ones, I never bought them, but I remember seeing them later on. But there was 20, there was a 20 volume set or something I wasn't gonna pick up. But this 7-disc set is just perfect, has everything that I would want pretty much on here. And Rhino, of course, are awesome. They always do an amazing job with these sorts of things. It's kind of really interesting. You can see the CDs all have these, the colors of the time period. People think of the 70s. And if you look, there's swatches there on the side. There's paint swatches, and it tells you this is powder blue, and you got burnt orange and avocado, and these flip up to reveal the other CD and stuff. But yeah, really interesting package. And of course, they have this amazing book that comes with it. And what I didn't mention is when this originally came out, this cover, you can see it's a shag carpet. They put a version out that the cover was a shag carpet, and this was encased in plastic with the title on it, but the cover was actually a carpet. But mine, I don't have that version. I wonder how those have held up over the years. I know they're still out there, but by the time I got this, they had I don't know, they obviously limited how many of those they put out. But anyways, back to what we're here to talk about, the book. And I noticed they also had put out some VHS tapes with music videos on there that you could buy. That's what that is. But yeah, the book is just really amazing, just chock full of info. It's got all kinds of cool stuff in here. Goes through the whole history of the decade and everything that was going on. Goes song by song. Obviously, there's information about each and every song. One of the easiest way to try to show you guys some of this stuff. And then there's this timeline of the historical and pop culture kind of events going on through the decade. Just an amazing collection. Like I said, Rhino, I think everybody knows Rhino's just, when it comes to these sorts of things, these reissues and these box sets and stuff, they just really know what they're doing over there. Just an awesome collection. So yeah, just really fun. And like I said, and the CDs between some of the songs actually have some sound bites of different news events and pop culture events that were going on at the time also. So like, you know, a song will end and all of a sudden you'll hear some little sound clip from like the news and everything. So yeah, just really cool collection. This is just breaks down all the songs that were on the CDs. So speaking of which, this is all about music. So what songs are on here, you ask? And it's just like an amazing, I don't know how many songs there are. It's just an amazing track list. I'll just go through really quickly and name some of the favorite songs per disc of mine, starting with disc 1. You've got Love Grows, Vehicle, Little Green Bag, Ride Captain Ride, Give Me Just a Little More Time, Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time? Didn't I? Ooh Child by the Five Stair Steps was one of my favorite songs. ABC by the Jackson 5. One Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. But yeah, that's amazing. Disc 2, you ask? What's on disc 2 that I like? Well, I'll tell you. Got the theme from Shaft. What You See Is What You Get by the Dramatics. The Want Ads, Mr. Big Stuff. One Tin Soldier. I'll Take You There by the Staple Singers. Everybody Plays the Fool. I'll Be Around by the Spinners. And The Great Lean on Me by Bill Withers, another awesome one. And Steve, what's on disc 3, you ask? I'll tell you. Alone Again, naturally. Another one of my favorites, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl by Looking Glass. Dancing in the Moonlight by King Harvest. Hot Rod Lincoln. You're So Vain by Carly Simon. Freddie's Dead by Curtis Mayfield. And the Isley Brothers' That Lady is another good one. Disc 4 starts off with a great track by the OJ's, Love Train. Tell Me Something Good by Rufus. The Payback by James Brown. You're No Good by Linda Ronstadt. Rock the Boat. The Awesome Kung Fu Fighting. The Streak, Boogadah Boogadah. And Do It Till You're Satisfied, Whatever It Is, another great one. That's by BT Express. Disc 5, we've got Beach Baby, Black Superman, Muhammad Ali. Wars, Why Can't We Be Friends? Why Can't We Be Friends? Magic by Pilot. And Sky High by Jigsaw. Disc 6 starts with Get Down Tonight by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Love Roller Coaster by the Ohio Players. December 1963, Oh What a Night. Saturday, Night. Evil Woman. Let Your Love Flow. Tear the Roof Off the Sucker by Parliament. Right back where we started from. I'd Really Love to See You Tonight. Turn the Beat Around. Car Wash. More. Disco Duck. Obviously, disc 6, we're starting to get into like the disco period. Disco Duck, I remember, I don't know how old I was when that came out, but I remember having like a 12-inch LP of that. It might be one of the first records I ever owned in my life. But yeah, it was a goofy song. And then disc 7, we've got Disco Inferno, Brick House by the Commodores, I Will Survive, Werewolves of London, and one of my favorite tunes of all time, Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. So yeah, I mean, just like so many of those songs, like even just reading the titles. I mean, I know I started singing some of them, but even just reading the titles, you know, like I just, I mean, you know, I'm already like thinking about that time period, you know, which was pretty special in my life. You know, that was when I was a little kid, and, you know, I just have fond memories of those days. But yeah, just a awesome collection here. You know, I'm sure you can pick this up if you're interested on eBay. Probably not too much, I would imagine. I would think there's probably quite a few of these out here. Then maybe you'll luck out and you'll get one of the shag carpet versions. But yeah, just an incredible set from Rhino. And I know they did, I don't know if there's a 60s one. I know they did an 80s one, and there probably is a 90s one. I didn't pick either of them up. I do remember like looking at the 80s one that came out, and I felt like most of the stuff on there that I really liked, you know, I had. So there was no real reason to pick this up. Whereas this one, most of these are like one-hit wonders and stuff like that. And, you know, there are a few that I do have other CDs by or whatever, but most of them I don't. So this was just a perfect thing to pick up for that nostalgia factor and sentimental reasons for, you know, remembering my youth, you know. But yeah, awesome collection by Rhino, the Have a Nice Decade 70s pop culture box. Check it out. thank you for tuning in. If you have this, let me know. If you have the shag carpet one, let me know how the carpet's held up over all these years. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you another time later on, y'all.